Okay, Docker on Linux. For once in my life, the easiest of the installs. But there are tons of Linux distros out there, and I know that that can, in its own way, sometimes make it a bit confusing. So what I'm going to show you here is Docker on Ubuntu. But you know what? All I'm going to do is a single command. And that command's going to work just fine on most of the major Linux distros out there. And I know for sure that it works on Ubuntu and CentOS, even across init systems, so systemd, classic init, and even, what was it? Upstart. Yeah, Upstart. It's going to work fine on all of them. But the thing is, right, if you get stuck, just whack install Docker and then your flavour of Linux, like install Docker on CentOS, into Google. And what you'll get is a link to the Docker Docs website, which is a great place for the latest instructions. But here I am on a clean Linux machine, and I'm going to run this single command here. Great. Basically, okay, this is going to grab this install script here, and feel free to read this in your own time if that's your thing. In fact, I recommend that you do. But the command grabs the script, and then look, it pipes it through your shell. So, if we unleash it, off it goes, doing everything it needs to do to install Docker. Now, depending on your system, it's going to have to install prereqs and the likes, so it can take a few minutes. But what I'll do is I'll flex my intellectual might and I will warp space-time. Magic. There it is, all done. No other commands, nothing. Just the script worked its magic. Now, certainly in real-world production environments, you're going to want to go with this advice here and add users to the Docker group or some other group that fits your corporate standards. The idea being, right, you really don't want to be abusing the root account on your machines to run and manage Docker. I'm not fussed about it here for this demo, so if I go with trusty old Docker version here, there we are, all Dockered up. A quick Docker info. Right, lovely clean install as well. This machine all ready to rock and roll for the rest of the course. Now, if you do have issues, seriously, install Docker Ubuntu 14.04 or whatever your distro is, and up near the top here, you're going to get a link to docs.docker.com. Now, this is going to change from time to time, right? Like they've just rebranded the website recently, so it looks all funky now. But here you've got everything you need to install Docker on. Well, look, this page has got all the different versions of Ubuntu, but whatever Linux distro you're searching for, you'll get a link to the right page. But the instructions here are manual style, right? So you're going to be running all of the commands that the script would otherwise do for you. Not the end of the world, it's just a few more commands to type. But that's it, Docker installed on Linux. Now, one final thing, okay. Some vendors and distros, from time to time, go with their own forked repos. So, forking the Docker project and doing bits and pieces of their own thing in it. So, you do need to be careful that you know exactly what you're getting, because forks of the Docker project can land you in a scenario, right, where mods and fixes that you might get might not actually make it into upstream Docker, and before you know it, you've diverged and you're not in the place that you were expecting. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing in and of itself, right? Okay, it's probably not the route I'd personally take. I'm just making you aware. Forewarned is forearmed, as they say. You just need to make sure you know what you're getting, because if you want commercial support for your Docker estate from Docker Inc. or maybe from one of their authorized partners, then I think you're going to struggle if you're running a fork from somebody else. But I'm getting off piste here, though, you know what? Yeah, it is really important because Docker is making it more and more into production, and more of you guys are looking for commercial support and service level agreements. So be careful. But yeah, that's Docker on Linux.